So,
welcome to FF Uncensored. Today's episode is brought to you by
Slow Death by Rubber Duck. It's a really good book, actually.
It's very scientific.
It's super scientific, but it like gives you reasons why you shouldn't like store stuff in plastic.
It is really interesting.
Eat a lot of
food out of plastic that's heated up, or
right. So if you're into like environmental toxins and that kind of stuff, really good book. It's kind of long, but the words.
It is long. The words are decently sized. It's easy to read on the page, like visually to see. It is very sciencey. Okay, maybe not very sciencey, but it's sciencey.
It's pretty good.
I borrowed it from Trevor. I returned it today.
Right. So what do they talk about? Rubber duck wars, pollution that are now the world's slipperiest substance, the new PCBs, quicksilver, slow death, germophobia, risky business, 2,4-D, and the sound of science. It's actually really interesting.
It is. It's a great book if you are interested in why you should clean up your environment. I mean, right. I know we talk a ton about like cleaning up your food and cleaning up your workouts and having a valuable workout routine, but this is like cleaning up everything else because what we use in our everyday life is very important.
And I would say reducing the toxin load on your body,
well, yes,
because like at the end of the day, like our body can handle a lot of junk, right? Like we can drink crappy water, we can breathe in smoke, and like our body has detoxification pathways, right? And so, but it can get to a point where those pathways get overloaded, and then they just become less efficient.
So it's an overburdening of the body. So like our liver is our main detoxer in our body. It detoxifies everything that comes in and out, and it only can handle
Except for air. Does it do air?
No, our lungs do air, smarty pants. But it detoxifies everything, so it can become overloaded, and it will like slow one of the two detoxification pathways of the liver. That's why when I talk about a lot of nerdy nutrition stuff, I always talk about supporting the liver because our livers definitely need a ton of love. So actually, you doing stuff that will help support your liver's processing is super important.
Yeah. So.
And your liver has like 500 jobs, so it doesn't just detoxify, but it's the main organ in detoxification.
So I mean that's where it's like, can we do stuff to lessen that load, right? So can we buy from the Clean 15 rather than traditional produce?
Can you use
less
glass
pesticides in our life, right?
Can you use glass instead of plastic? Like it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I mean, even like the receipts you get out of if you go to Walmart and you grab the receipt paper is some of the dirtiest, most toxic stuff you can touch.
Everybody loves a little BPA in the morning.
Yeah, just at breakfast time.
So I mean, there's just ways to make our body have to use less energy to keep us healthy, right? But like the cool thing is about our body is like we can put our body through a lot of junk and we still are able to function. So it's one of the cool things about being human, right? Is just we have these systems already built in. It's just important for us to support those systems, and then to think about, because as we move into the developed world, right, we're getting exposed to more and more things that we have never been exposed to before because we're smart, right? As a species, we're creating things that never existed before, right? TV's like the screen that we're looking at, like having access to light 24 hours a day, like
your cell phone,
right.
Like there's so many things that our ancestors have never came in contact with us, but we have created all of these things that that
we think are normal.
They
too,
are,
right?
they are, and we don't know, like as much as we can say this is safe or this is safe, we don't know for a long-term study on how these things are affecting our.
Right. So you could go down the rabbit hole with all this stuff, get into like EMFs.
You can become a real conspiracy theorist on all of these things.
But it's looking at like the basic stuff. Sorry, what are we putting in our body? What are we surrounding our body with? So I like to look at the water that I'm drinking, or the fluids that are going in, the food that I'm eating, the air that I'm breathing, and then
I'm big on everything I put on my body or I use in my household. Like
really
that is your skin, like it protects you from a lot of things, like cuts and gashes and all that kind of stuff. Like it's gonna protect you, but it absorbs everything it comes in contact with. So if you rub elbows with your neighbor, you're going to come in contact with them. If if you put on a product that has a lot of junk in it, your body's going to absorb that and have to detoxify it. Like,
so I guess the moral of the story is just pay attention, right?
Awareness
Be
is
aware.
key.
Be aware of what you're putting on your body, what you're putting in your body, and what you're surrounding yourself with.
Like my dad always says, when you know better, you do better. And we are now teaching you how to know better. So now you have the opportunity to do better.
Right. And now you can't plead ignorance, right? You can't just say that I didn't know it. So, dig into this stuff because it is important and it does affect your health.